Okay, everybody, today I'm going to be bringing you guys the top 5 decks in 2022 that have a ton of potential upcoming. I think every single deck on this list is actually really good in the rogue category at the moment, and can easily be turned into a very powerful deck. So let's get straight into this. My number 5 pick is Sharks. I think Sharks is one of the stronger decks this format. It's a very powerful rogue option. It has really great hand advantage, such as using cards like Buzzsaw Shark, Totally Awesome, which makes this all possible, and Stealth Kraken, which is a really crazy floodgate and can pop cards. Another great tech choice in this deck is Goes in Match, which can make pretty much crazy locks because of the ability of Stealth Kraken turning everything to water. So I think this deck actually is doing a lot this format, but it's not appearing as much as I'd like to see it. I think the Sharks really just need that extra little push before it becomes a top tier deck, and it has a lot of potential going for it. Now for my number 4 pick, this is Heroes, especially with Destiny Hero, Phoenix Enforcer. I think this card is super freaking crazy. It busted so many decks like Sky Strikers, Sword Soul, and many others. And I think cards like Dark Law, which can literally warp a card from your opponent's hand on their turn whenever they add stuff, and pretty much is a one-sided Macros Cosmos. It's really powerful. It also can be brought out via cards like Ferris, Mass Change, and you also have kill options like Malicious Bane, which are very powerful turn 2 options. So I think this deck has a lot going for it. It's probably one of the stronger decks, but it's very hard to pilot. You gotta learn how to play this deck, and if you don't, then, well, it's not gonna be as great as you think. Now for number 3, I am going with Dragon Link. I think this deck is super powerful right now. Dragon Link, the main issue, I'm guessing, is mainly just like blowout cards and stuff like that is a huge part of the issue, but lingering hand traps and blowout cards, this is one of the main problems for Rogue in general, is just because of the fact that cards like Droll, Lancia, Lightning Storm, and just other board breaker, or preventive cards, or preemptive cards, that's the correct word, are very detrimental to rogue decks in a sense. But yeah, Dragon Link is a very powerful deck. I think this deck has a lot going for it, especially with Heretic Seals being one of the best Link 2s ever created in the game. And then you have stuff like Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, Chaos Space, which creates tons of hand advantage, and even cards like Warlord Savage and your Rocket Tracer, which makes this all possible. So that's why I put Dragon Link as the number 3 deck. Now for the number 4 deck, it is Orchest. I think Orchest is one of the better rogue decks. It is unfortunately prone to cards like lingering hand traps such as Lancia and other lingering cards like Artifact Scythe, but I think this deck is a very powerful deck. It can turbo out some pretty nasty boards, especially with the Panem Knight and the Scrap Engine, but it is a very great deck. And keep in mind that this has like the best of each section. It has one of the best Lynx monsters ever made that sets anything you want. It has a protection and non-targeting send monster that recycles all your plays in tandem with Galatea. It also has one of the best counter traps that is a follow-up and Omni-Negate counter trap, and it has one of the best field spells ever made. What is there more to ask of? I think this deck is insanely crazy and has a ton of, upcoming potential. So yeah, the main reason this deck, I'd say, is not doing really too much this format is 1, lingering hand traps. I've said this so many times. Cards like Lancia and Droll, yes, they are great for keeping the game in check, but there are other ways to contain certain decks rather than leaving one-sided gameplay. So yeah, there's number 4 was Orchest. Now for the 5th and final deck, or actually the number 1 slot, this is Plants in general. I think Plants are very, very good. They have a lot going for them, about one of the most crazy combo decks ever created, aside World Chalice. And, well, let me go and explain why Plants have a ton of potential coming up. So if you don't know anything about the Sun Avalanche, they're really great. They have a crazy 1-card combo that starts with only 1 normal monster, keep in mind, which can bring out through Unexpected Die, and many other cards. And pretty much what's really great about this engine is it gives you so much advantage of just 1 normal monster normal summon, and then you get all your plays from there. Unfortunately, I think Plants can lose to Nibiru, which is not that big of an issue because we are running cards like Crossout Designator, Prohibition, and other cards to counter it, and even sometimes the Ciphering package with Lambda. But I think this deck is very, very good, especially with Sun Avalon Bloom being a searchable trap card through the Link 4, which does not require only plants. It just requires your 4 or 2+ Link monsters, sorry. So yeah, I think this deck's really, really good. You also obviously have like stuff like Cobra and your Lone Fires, Gigaplants, which can be abused like crazy. You also have another broken Floodgate, Naturia Rose Whip, which is a one-sided like spell limiter, I guess. It just limits them to activating one spell, and there are ways to protect it. Obviously, you have number 39. You have stuff like how he 5-racks to, you know, make your Nino Flavor plays and all that. I think this deck's actually really good. The one bring down, of course, because all these decks in this list have a bring down. Lingering Hand Traps, blowout cards. Biggest problem for these decks. Without these would be pretty strong decks. But yeah, that's basically it for this number 5 list. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. Do you like it? Do you want better explanations? If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I hope you people have a great day, and I'll get back to my normal uploading schedule soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.